So today, we're going to look at something called Project Nawiri. It's a really bold idea that's using AI and some pretty high-end tech to build, well, a digital bridge for talented young people in Kenya's informal settlements, connecting them straight to the global economy. Let's see how they're pulling it off.
But first, to really get what they're doing, we have to understand the problem they're trying to solve. For so many aspiring creators in Kenya, there's this massive barrier in their way. The project calls it the hardware and skill wall.
Yeah, just take a look at this. This is what daily life looks like for so many in places like Kibera and Mukuru. And in environments just like this, you've got this massive pool of about 1.2 million unemployed young people. We're talking immense talent that's just caught in a loop of limited opportunity.
And this number, honestly, it's staggering. Young people make up more than a third of Kenya's population, but they're facing a 67% unemployment rate. That means 2 out of every 3 young people are struggling to find any kind of stable work.
A huge piece of this puzzle is something they call hardware poverty. And this isn't just, not having a computer. We're talking about the lack of those powerful workstations, the professional cameras, all the gear you actually need to compete on a global stage. Without the right tools, so much talent just stays locked away.
And then there's another layer on top of all that. Climate change makes traditional, physical jobs incredibly unreliable. With almost half the households there dealing with regular flooding, having a digital career that isn't tied to a physical location, well, it isn't just a nice opportunity, it's absolutely necessary for resilience.
So the big question is, how do you break down that wall? How do you create an economy that can actually withstand these challenges? Well, Project Nawiri's answer is to build a digital bridge.
Now, what I love about this is the contrast you see here. On one side, you have the tough, physical reality. But on the other, you see the solution in action, a modern, equipped workshop where digital creativity can just happen. It really paints a powerful picture of what's possible. So, who's making all this happen? This is Project Nawiri, and it's run by the Husisha Initiative. And look, this isn't just some training program. No, it's a whole ecosystem that combines that high-end hardware with a really powerful AI partner to give these young creators a legitimate shot at the global market. Okay, so how are they actually planning to build this digital bridge? Well, the whole thing is laid out in a super clear 12-month roadmap. Let's walk through it.
The entire plan is broken down into 4 main phases. It kicks off with building the foundation, then they move into developing the tech, then it's all about launching into the market. And finally, they measure success to figure out how to scale it all up.
So in phase 1, it's all about laying the groundwork. And this is not some top-down solution. They're actually co-designing it with 60 young people to bring in what they call hustler logic. This makes sure the project is grounded in the community's real-world smarts. At the same time, they're locking in official partnerships and, of course, buying all the gear. So what's the result of all that initial work? Well, you get 3 physical creative hubs up and running in key cities. And, just as important, the features of the AI tool have been validated by the actual users, making sure it's something they'll genuinely use. All right, phase 2 is where the tech really starts to come to life. They have lead artists stress test the AI while the rest of the group gets trained on all the new equipment. They also learn this really cool technique called chain of thought reasoning. It's basically a way to teach them how to work with the AI, to prompt it to think step by step, helping them break down complex client requests and write back like a total pro. So, by the time this phase is over, every single one of those 60 participants has a professional portfolio ready to go. And the AI itself is now a whole lot smarter because it's been fine-tuned with all that real-world testing and feedback. Now, this is where it gets really exciting. In phase 3, the creators go live. They use an AI-powered green certification tool, which helps them show that their work meets global environmental and social standards, making them way more attractive to high-paying clients. And then they're off, exporting their work on huge freelance platforms. And this right here really shows you the immediate impact. The first goal is to hit $5,000 in collective income just to prove the model's working. But it's more than just the money. They're building a brand for themselves, not just as creators, but as premium ethical creators, which helps them get better paying gigs. The final phase is all about the future, about what comes next. The team partners with civil society organizations to do a deep dive, a full impact audit. Then they put on a national showcase,
presenting their findings to government officials, and making the case to scale this model across the entire country.
The big outputs here are a public impact report, and, this is key, the Nawiri Replication Toolkit. By making their methods and AI frameworks open source as a digital public good, they're basically giving communities all over the world the tools to build their own digital bridges.
You know, we've touched on how AI is part of this, but its role is so huge, we really need to dig in a little deeper. Because in this model, AI isn't just a tool you use, it's more like a strategic career partner. This comparison really lays it all out. The old way, a creator might struggle with language barriers. With Nawiri's AI, it helps them draft professional proposals. They used to have to guess at what's trending in the market. Now, the AI can actually forecast high-demand creative niches. And instead of getting stuck with low-paying gigs, the AI helps them find and land those premium contracts.
So what's the big idea here? The AI is acting as a capability equalizer. It's making sure that an artist's success is based